Doomscrolling is a prison. It exists on every social media platform on your phone, and it's designed to keep you trapped inside, earn these corporations money, and waste years of your life. But you clicked on this video because you're tired of picking up your phone and realizing that 2 hours have gone by again. I've been there, but now, thankfully, my screen time is healthier than ever, and it's actually not as hard as you think. Hi, I'm Nadia, and welcome to Scoop of Success, where I give you the scoop, the tea, the secrets on all things self-improvement, academics, how to thrive in high school and beyond. Subscribe to join the club. And today, it's the big, scary... Wait, what's so scary about our phones again? The way you're usually gonna get this message is from these macho, disciplined YouTubers, and it feels like fear-mongering a lot of the time, right? It feels like a play on your emotions. I can't just fear-monger you into giving up your phone, because then you're gonna feel worse about it, and you're gonna spend even more time scrolling, so we have to address it as it is. It's okay if you spend more time on your phone than you'd like to right now. And I'm here to tell you that you're not the one who put yourself into doomscroll jail, but you're the one who can get yourself out. First, we need to back up and understand something about the algorithm, because understanding these different parts that kind of mechanize the problem is going to help you recognize them when you're finding the solution. So you've heard of dopamine. It's one of the happy hormones, and it gets released when you feel good. That happens when you see a video that you like. It makes you feel satisfaction, pleasure, motivation. So when you get that hit of dopamine, like, oh, I like this video, it's funny, I feel very satisfied myself, you want that again and again. But the way the algorithm works is it gives you a good video first, one that it knows you're gonna like, so you spend a certain amount of seconds on it, and maybe you interact, and then it gives you a bad video that makes you say, oh, I don't really like that, that's not my style. So then it has you scrolling to find another good video. That's how it works. Then you have clickbait videos, the bane of my existence in more ways than one. I too am frequently a victim, let's just say that. If you think about it, the internet is filled with creators just making content that's designed to just be funny and grab your attention, and it makes it that much harder for you to resist the urge to scroll and stay away from social media. So what all of this teaches you is that the algorithm is set up for you to fail. It's engineered so that it keeps you looking for a better video all the time, and that's what keeps you scrolling. It's the way that these apps were set up that's completely out of your control, and a natural chemical process in your brain. So it's not your fault. It's a result of your circumstances, but it's your responsibility to hold yourself accountable, and this is how you do it. When you're debating, in any good speech, you first have to give a clear definition of your understanding of the topic. So let's get this straight. I say that you have no control over the way that the algorithm is set up, which is true. You're not in that boardroom where all those decisions are made, but you do have control over the kind of videos that the algorithm recommends you. I'm gonna talk about that a bit later, but you're not a slave to these machines, all right? You're a person and you have free will, and that's what you need to remember. I also said in my intro that getting off your phone is easier than you think, and that's true, but it's also easy to fall into the cycle of shame and feeling guilty about scrolling for a long time. But fear and guilt is not what's going to help you. It's not going to get you out. So what's happening in this video is, like right about now, I'm going to give you a list of exact specific strategies that you can employ to stop scrolling and get control over your life again. Because when you try to quit cold turkey or you set up a weak system, it's all that harder to actually do what you want to. But using all or most of these methods is what really helped me stay away from my phone that much more. And I'm gonna give you the tools to make your strategy stronger than ever. Okay, so one last thing. We need to be very, very clear about this. The problem with scrolling is that you lose valuable time, you lose your mental capacity, your attention span, your ability to do more complex tasks and to learn more things, and it hurts your mental health. So keep this in mind with you always. This is the basics of everything. All this is meant to prove that what I'm about to tell you is not meaningless advice. It's genuinely good for you to use in your life so that you can start to feel more fulfilled and better about not using your phone for 90% of the day. Okay, so now we finally move on to very specific tools that I'm gonna give you right now that are going to make it that much more easier for you to stay off of Instagram. My first absolutely favorite thing, and you might have actually seen ads for this, so I decided to check it out myself, and it's been months, I think, of me using it. It's called Opal. So what Opal does is you install it on your phone and then you can set up blocks for certain apps on your phone. So you can say set a daily distraction limit, I think is what they call it, and you can say, okay, for Instagram, for TikTok, for YouTube, for Pinterest, for whatever, I want to spend only 30 minutes a day on all of these combined. So you set that up in Opal, it's very easy to do. And then when you wake up in the morning and you go on Instagram first thing, you spend 30 minutes on it, and then Opal's like, no, I'm gonna block this. And they have very funny things that they tell you, like, Instagram is on a vacation, Instagram flew away into space. I feel like that's just so helpful because the alternative for me, like the first thing that I ever tried, were the time limits that Apple has. And I spent those 30 minutes on Instagram and then my iPhone was like, oh, nope, blocked. And it literally gives you the option right there, another 15 minutes, and you can't choose 5 more minutes, you can't choose 10 more minutes. It only gives you the option of 15 more minutes. And when I tell you that I scrolled 2 hours at a time with this flimsy iPhone limit, I'm very seriously not kidding. And so the way that Opal is different from this is it's an entirely separate app, right? So imagine this, you scroll TikTok, you scroll Instagram, whatever, and Opal tells you these apps are now blocked. And then inside the app, you have the option to reset the timer and reset the limit, right, to another 30 minutes. You press the button and then Opal's like, please wait 7 seconds, and they show you these nice little videos of nature and butterflies and raindrops and everything. So you have to wait before you can actually decide to reset your time limit. The way that this entire process is made more complicated and more difficult, like you have to go to a whole separate app and you have to wait this amount of time. It's made it so much easier for me to actually get off my phone. Like, I'm seriously not lying. I'm not lying. This is absolutely great about the daily distraction limit. And what Opal also allows you to do is say, okay, from 6 to 9 a.m., I want to enjoy my morning and I don't want to go on Pinterest, Instagram, you name it. And what's also good about these kind of time block limits is that you can take breaks. You can cancel them entirely, but what's really great is that you can set a timer for a break for up to 15 minutes, but you can say, I want a break for 3 minutes, go on Instagram for 3 minutes, and then it blocks it again. I think that this is so much better than whatever your phone has. Opal has honestly been a complete lifesaver. It does have a premium version, but the amazing thing is that you can do all of this on the free version. That's what I do. Like, I'm in love. You can set up to 3 blocks on there. So I have the daily distraction limit, then I have a morning limit, and then I have a night limit. Game changer. When I tell you that my screen time went from 4 hours today to like 1.5, I'm so not kidding. And that is all thanks to Opal. Okay, we've gotten over the time limits. Another app is Beeper. Beeper has this little icon right here, and it allows you to link it with whatever like media on your phone that allows you to text with other people. You can link it with Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger. Basically, it's kind of a centralized texting app. But what's great is that when Opal or whatever blocks you Instagram, or if you delete Instagram, if that's the way that you want to go, you can still text whoever you want to text without actually going on the Instagram app. Log into Instagram through Beeper, and then you can access all of your messages that you have on Instagram or WhatsApp or whatever through Beeper without ever opening the app. Honestly, it's been great for when Opal blocks my Instagram so that I don't have to like take a break or completely discard my daily distraction limit and go on there and face all the reels. I can just text people through Beeper and they never know a difference. Nothing's different about it. So now that we're done with the apps, this is how you set yourself up for success. And that's funny because it has to do with settings. So the first thing that you can do is go to the settings on your phone, and I know that it works on iPhone at least, and you can go to accessibility and display and text settings, and you can switch your entire phone to black and white. And this is why it's so genius. It becomes way more boring for you. You can still scroll Instagram, you can still look at Pinterest, you can do whatever you want to do, but it's in black and white, right? So what happens is that your phone becomes this boring gray series of pictures, and then everything around you is the fantastic, interesting, colorful surroundings. So what it sometimes helps me to do is, just like staring down at my phone, and then I notice all of the colorful things around me, and suddenly my phone is boring. So personally, I don't have this set up all the time, just because sometimes I feel like I really need the color settings on my phone, like when I'm filming. Sometimes when you feel like you really just like, you feel like scrolling today but you don't want to, or maybe you're the kind of person who can benefit from this long term, just try setting it into black and white and it can be an absolute game changer. Now we come to the part that I talked about earlier in the video, how you can curate your feed to serve you. There's this little fantastic button on Instagram Reels that you can click, and you have the option to say not interested. And that means that Instagram is not gonna recommend you videos like the one you just clicked on. So maybe you don't like it, maybe it shows content that you're not a fan of. You can basically curate your Instagram feed by saying that you're not interested in this, or by interacting, liking these videos. You can make it serve you, and you can just make it like recommend you motivation videos or whatever kind of content that you want to consume. I'm gonna be real with you here. I've never actually done this, but that's why I'm giving you all of these options, right? Not all of these are going to work for me, and not all of these are going to work for you, right? There's so many different people out there, which is why I'm giving you these many options so that you can pick and choose what works for you. So if you're the kind of person who would like to kind of curate your feed to like only give you the videos that you actually want to see, then you go for it. You have that option, and go on Instagram and be mindful about the content that you consume, and say not interested when you're not interested. Last, but actually definitely not least, this is the last resort for probably everyone, and it's to physically put your phone away from you. So take your phone and lock it in another room. Swallow the key. No, I'm joking. Give the key to your mom. Hide the key under your bed. Put the key in a tissue box, in a bigger box, in your closet, in a drawer. Just like you know, make the process between you being able to access your phone have as many steps as possible, so that it kind of discourages you from going through all that and you're kind of, I kind of want to scroll, but it's too hard to get my phone. You would actually be surprised about how well this works. The reason I say last resort is because honestly it feels like a pretty drastic measure, just like putting your phone completely away. So the contexts that I have heard this piece of advice most used in is when you're sleeping. A lot of people also say to put your phone in another room when you're studying. To sum up this method, just put as many barricades and steps in between you and your phone as possible. Pretty drastic measure. There's a lot of strategies that I've outlined to you in this video that are gonna work better, but if you're just like, really, I need to focus right now, this is getting bad, I really need to be away from my phone, do it. Do it. I think you can probably tell I'm not a fan of this, but you do you. So these were the strategies that I wanted to outline for you. But there's also one final piece of advice that I really want to pass on before you leave this video and we say goodbye. Please, please, please know what works for you. I have been pretty damn clear about this in this video, but not everything is going to suit everyone. That's why I'm such a huge advocate for very much critical thinking when it comes to the kind of content and advice that you consume. So there's people out there saying that you need to be mindful when you scroll, right? So that's also a strategy that I have heard mentioned. Open up Instagram and like set a clear intention for what you want to do on there. But the reason that I didn't include this, and the reason that I'm personally not a huge fan, is because it's the very opposite of foolproof, right? It's foolish. It's foolish. You're not always in the mood to be mindful about Instagram. It's not always going to work for you. And the thing about this strategy is that in order for it to work, you need to do it consistently, and that's just not possible all the time. So what message I kind of want this to pass on to you is that you really need to differentiate between what other people say you should do and what you actually feel like you should do, right? If something is not working for you and you feel like you're just scrolling again and you're just doing whatever you didn't want to do in the first place, abandon it. Look for something else. Like, I'm not even joking, okay? If something's not working for you, stop doing it. Find a different system. This is the only way that you're really gonna find what works for you, and the only way that you're gonna be able to stick to this consistently and actually lower your screen time. So these were the strategies to get you off your phone. Yay, we did it! Okay, amazing. I will see you guys in the next one, but pretty please, okay, subscribe first so we can see each other again, and I'm really looking forward to meeting again.